It's actually a very exciting day that we are witnessing a very beautiful event. Please, can you tell us more about this event?
This event is actually a training to train women with disability and also some persons with disability as well. It's just a kind of training to also commemorate the International Day of Persons with Disability. We wanted to also add the voice of women and girls with disability, and as an organization advancing rights of women and girls with disability, we got this wonderful support from UNFPA to do this 2 days training for our women. And then we are happy that as many that came for the training, I'm sure they did not return home the same. They took away some of the work, what we discussed today. I think today basically we did something around building self-esteem and then also knowing your rights using the laws, international laws, and also the national laws that we have. So definitely is a kind of sensitization and awareness training.
So, going by this training, what do you expect from them going forward? Going by what the models that you actually use for this training. So, what do you expect from these women with disabilities?
Well, our expectation mostly is to have a better outcome. That is, they are going home with something, and then they will now use whatever knowledge they are able to acquire from here and stepping down to their communities, because our organization is actually a community-based organization. We don't only operate at the national level, we have the states level, and then we have the community level. So most of the people you are seeing are people that came from the national level, and because also we stay in the urban area, but we are expecting that this training will be stepped down to the rural areas where mostly they need this knowledge.
Okay. As a leader within the disability community and someone that a lot of women with disabilities look up to, we have an International Day for Persons with Disabilities with the team leadership and participation of persons with disability towards an inclusive and accessible and sustainable post COVID-19. So what is your take? How do you, looking at the team, what do you think, looking at the team, that can be done for women with disabilities, as we are focusing on this International Day?
I think for me, International Day for Persons with Disabilities is a wonderful day, and it's a day that people look up to. I am hoping that it is not a day for only celebration. It is celebration or marking the day should be an everyday thing, because it's also a period where we look at progress of what we have done. We scorecard the whole community, all stakeholders, including the government, to see, how far have we done in the area of advancing rights of all persons with disability. So for the theme of this year, it's actually a good one, because we are actually in the era of COVID-19, and then post COVID-19, what do we expect? For me, I am expecting a more inclusive nation, a nation that understands that that is sensitive towards issues of persons with disability, especially towards their needs, because what is actually missing is access in the area of special needs for all persons with disability, including women with disability. And then when you talk about gender-based violence, how do they get a justice around that? Is the justice system actually accessible to the women with disability when they are being assaulted, when they are being raped, when they are being sexually harassed, when they are even experiencing intimate partner violence? And then how accessible is also the sexual reproductive health and rights? Even though we have a policy, how is the implementation? How is also the implementation even around the international law of UNCRPD? Are we already doing that in our own country? So these are some of the things that we need to also put into cognizance. It's not a day that people will just set 3rd of December with the day that we amplify and see people with disability. We try to touch their lives in different ways. It should be a 360 degree day for persons with disability, and begin to actually amplify and and increase progress as it goes along with persons with disability and their needs. So I'm expecting greatly that it shouldn't be a day for persons with disability, it should be days for persons with disability.
All right. That this particular issue that I always want to talk about when it comes to issue of leadership and women with disabilities. It seems as if women with disabilities have not been making some inroad when it comes to leadership. So going by, and again the UN is now mentioning leadership. So bringing leadership into it, you find out that leadership is very important to persons with disabilities.
Absolutely.
And to an extension to women with disability. So what are you going to say about it? How far have women with disability gone when it comes to the issue of leadership?
Yeah, I want to say that we know the barriers that we face as persons with disability, and then when it comes to women with disability, a different ball game. Women with disability are not truly visible in the sphere, especially when it comes to participation and leadership. So for that, AWWDI, that is Advocacy for Women with Disability, we have been doing lots of leadership training because we wanted to change mindsets. We wanted to also give the women the space for them to own themselves and begin to decide for themselves and say, this is what we want. So if women are able to decide for themselves, it's one step ahead of others to say we can actually be on the decision table. Being on the decision table means that they have to participate fully, and they also have to aspire to be in that leadership space. So we need this constant training, and that is what we are doing as an organization, because we understand our women, we understand where they are coming from, we understand that they are actually pressed down by low self-esteem that is not allowing them to come out, and then with a lot of discrimination, system discrimination, barriers, procedures, and all that working against them. But that is the scorecard, and that is why we are here, so that in future, I bet you what we have in the space concerning participation and leadership for women with disability is going to increase for us.
Wow, thank you very much. So in a nutshell, what does he represent in the community of persons with disability?
AWWDI
Just in a very
AWWDI is an organization that just try to give a voice to women and girls with disability, which is one of the marginalized and invisible group within the disability community.
Wow. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.